And I was like, oh my god, it still like shocks me to this day. If you want to go to the next level of your life, you have to become that person first. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do a video on a topic that I'm so passionate about, and that is what the majority of people like to call the law of attraction, even though I don't like to call it that way, because what people call the law of attraction basically is God's law. I don't call it that way, but I've added it in the title just to make sure that people can find this video. But I like to refer to it as just like God. It's just part of God's law. A law is a law because it always works. Like if you take, for example, gravity. Like if I take this pen right now and I like, that's gravity, okay? It always works. We're not sitting there and thinking that, oh, maybe if I like stop touching this pen, it will fall or something. You just know it will fall because it's the law of gravity. Whether you're in Japan, in the US, in France, it always works, okay? So it's the same with this law. It always works. And it's very simple, but it's not easy to live in that state every single moment of the day and every day. I had to add my additional lighting because it was getting pretty dark in here. But yeah, basically what I want to talk to you about is how I manifested my dream home. The more you start to study these laws, the more you want to just share it with everybody. And first of all, I do not do this at all to like show off. I just do it to like help people, and this is what my academy is all about as well. As you guys know, if you follow me, you know that I've created Abundance Queen Academy last year in July, and it's basically an academy where you can join a group of amazing queens, how to live in abundance and how to really attract and manifest your dream life, because it is possible, and it's just something I am so passionate about. So without further ado, let's just get started. By the way, if you're new here, hi, my name is Lisa. I make beauty, fashion, and lifestyle videos. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get notified when I post new videos. Like this video because it helps me a lot. And also, I'll put it right here, follow me on Instagram because I am a lot more active on there. And yeah, let's get into this video. I hope my necklace is not distracting. It's like blinding. So basically, if you're new to all of this, basically our thoughts create our reality. It's been talked about so many times, but I feel like I know I have to constantly remind myself of it, constantly like watch teachings and read books on how your imagination creates reality, because it just constantly refreshes my mind. And also practice it, because it's one thing, like there's so many people that I know that know about this but that don't actually like apply it. So you may be one of them, and again, like I'm not here at all like to judge and point fingers, because I think we've all been guilty of hearing about this and not really doing anything about it, and not really applying it. But I know, like I can personally tell you from experience that it works every single time. And like I said, with the pen, a law is a law. It works every time. On to the story how I manifested my dream home. I am a huge believer in scripting and writing down what you want. I love vision boards as well. I think they're so powerful. I have one right now. I've always had vision boards. And what's funny is everything I've ever put on my vision board always manifested. The only things that didn't were the things that I ended up not wanting anymore. There is an invisible power all around us. Some people call it energy, some people call it spirit. I call it spirit or God. The universal field and energy that keeps everything together. Our job is not to figure out the how. Our job is to figure out what we want and to write it down and to hold the vision and to act from a place of already having it, like acting as if. I will talk about that a little bit later. Just think of children, how free they are and how they always love to pretend, and I don't know, I just love children, how free spirited they are, how open they are to everything, and how they're just so good at pretending things. Some people also, I read in some books, like they also call it rehearsing. A lot of athletes do this before a game. They actually rehearse in their mind like how they're gonna win, but you just basically visualize and you actually like you feel it. I read a lot of Neville Goddard, and he says to act from, like, to think rather than thinking of the wish, like what we want, we should think from a place of from it, in the sense that we have already achieved it and we already have it, which is obviously where the challenge comes in, because you need training. Like, you need to discipline your mind and to train your mind to really think that, to act as if you're already being that person that you want to be, or having the thing that you already have. If you want to find love, you can touch an imaginary wedding ring on your ring finger and literally feel the happiness and the joy and the fulfillment that comes from, like, being married. Or if you want to have a successful business, you could just imagine seeing like happy clients or happy customers, seeing the reviews, having the financial freedom. It's going to be different for every person. And for the place that I'm living in today, how I actually manifested that house was such an amazing story. So it took me in total 2 years to manifest living in this house, knowing that I really did not do a lot to, like, things just fell into place. But the first time I saw the house that I'm living in right now was in 2015. I was looking for a new place and it popped up, and I just immediately like fell in love with it. It was everything that I wanted. It had huge ceilings, marble floors, just super exquisite. Obviously at that time I was like, this was so far off from what I could ever afford at that time. Like, at that time I just knew that I couldn't have it, but I did. I'm pretty sure I printed out a photo of the place. And I just kind of forgot about it. Moved into a new place. It was obviously a nice place. I loved it. And obviously I didn't want to stay in that place forever. I kept regularly just looking at the listings. I even do this now. There's just something about house listings. I just love real estate. I love looking at listings. So I was looking at finding a bigger place, because the one that I had moved into was pretty small and I wanted something bigger. By that time I could afford something bigger, and I had found again an apartment that was super, super nice, but still it was a little bit above my budget. So what I did is, I was not in a rush to get out of the apartment that I was in. I was just like, if I'm gonna find something better, like, it will just naturally flow. I was not in a rush, so there was not any pressure. So I saw that amazing apartment and I wrote down, I am living in this amazing apartment, like the one that I just seen. I'm living in that. And then I added, or better. I don't think I even visualized living in a new place. I just wrote it down, and again I completely forgot about it. So another year goes by and I kept on checking the listings every other month or so, and I found the house that I'm in right now. It was listed again, like 2 years after I had seen it. It was listed, and at that point I actually, while it was still expensive, I could afford it. I called to get an appointment to see the house, and you guys, got ready and I drove to the appointment, and to my freaking surprise, I found out that the house was just like right next to the apartment that I had written down, where I wrote down, I am living in that house, or better. It still like shocks me to this day. It's like a block away, that's it. And I was like, oh my god, this is insane. Not to mention that I ended up taking the house and living in it. I was literally looking for almost 2 years for a new place, and I could have gotten discouraged because there was a lot of places I didn't like, but I didn't give up. I just kept on looking and looking, and I really wasn't pressuring myself. I think that's so important when it comes to manifesting, is you don't want to add pressure, because if you add pressure, it keeps the thing, whatever you want or the state you want to be in, it keeps it from actually happening, because you're putting so much resistance to it. It's just negative energy, and you don't want to have that. That's why it's so commonly taught in the law of attraction to like be happy all the time and like focus on that. But I don't really believe in that. I believe that we are humans, that we have feelings. We can't just be happy all the time. Like, no one is happy all the time, okay? Like, let's just be real here. That stuff doesn't exist. And I believe in just like letting your feelings out in a healthy way, and then you get on with it. Like, but you know, there's nothing wrong with being sad or angry sometimes. I honestly try to show that a lot on my channel. Like, I try to be open about my feelings. Back to my video, it's just crazy to see how all of this like just happened. And again, I had just seen this house once, but the feeling of it was so strong. It was like I just fell in love with it the minute that I saw it. That feeling was so strong, and I've had that with so many things. I live on the French Riviera. 2 years before I moved here, I visited the French Riviera, and I was just like, we did a road trip, and I was just like in awe. I was just like, I want to live here. And at that point, there was nothing in my life pointing towards you know, moving there at all. But things just started to happen, and I just ended up here, like without me even trying. And that's the thing, you want to put out your wish, and then you just want to let it go. There's such a fine line between like putting out your wish and then just letting it go. Don't try to hold on to it, because that's just like, it's not going to work that way. And I think repetition is important, but you want to do it in a joyous way. Like, if you, for example, don't have a job right now because of the crisis that we're in, and you're trying to have a stable job, try to imagine yourself going to work every day and actually loving your work, or working from home and starting a new business, and just really feeling that joy of already being there. And if you want to like go to the next level of your life, you have to become that person first. That's why in scripture, in so many places, God just reveals himself, and he says, I am that I am. And scripture says that we are made in God's image. So we are made in his image. The things that he does, we can do, but like on a smaller scale. Obviously, we are made in his image, and we are that which we are. I know it can sound very confusing and very out there, but if you pray about that and meditate on that I am that I am, like if you feel poor inside, you are not going to attract, you can never attract to you the life that you want. You have to first feel an expansion inside of you and feel abundant and actually feel, all right, my camera just died, but what I was saying is basically start to be grateful for everything that you have in life, and also start practicing gratitude for the things that you don't have. This is such a powerful thing. You can even write it down. You can write down, I'm so grateful now that I'm able to have my own business, or like anything that you want, you can have. And creation is complete. Everything that you have already exists. I know, again, that sounds so far-fetched. I can get into that like deeper in another video. If you have been struggling with manifesting, and if you can get into that feeling, or you feel like it's just not working for you, you've tried it but it's not working, and you want to create a more expanded and abundant life, I highly recommend you join the Abundance Queen Academy. I'll link it below. It teaches you so many things, teaches you confidence, teaches you how you can be a go-getter and really manifest your best, most epic life. And last but not least, I wanted to mention one of my favorite books. It's literally like, it has like 80 something pages. It's so good and so underrated. I picked this up during a seminar that I partook in, whatever. It's by Genevieve Berend. It's called Your Invisible Power. And if you want to go even deeper into it, I highly recommend Thomas Troward. His books are from like over 100 years ago, but they are so good. It's very hard reading, like it's not easy reading. If you prefer easy reading, I highly recommend this one. It's like it only costs like €6, so I'll link that one down below as well, and share your experiences down below, how your imagination created your reality. Thank you so much for watching. Like this video if you want more of these. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video.